Over 4,500 years ago, one man stood behind the greatest structure in human history. Pharaoh Khufu, the enigmatic ruler who built the Great Pyramid, the only remaining wonder of the ancient world. But who was Khufu, really? Was he a divine king who led his people to immortality? Or a tyrant who forced thousands to build a legendary tomb in his name? Welcome to this new video in our series about the greatest kings in history, where we delve into the life of one of the greatest and most mysterious rulers. Today, we explore the depths of ancient Egypt to uncover the story of Khufu, between myth and reality, from his origins in the Fourth Dynasty to the secrets of the Great Pyramid's construction and the mystery surrounding his personality to this day. We'll examine the accounts of Greek historians and the latest archaeological discoveries to understand how a man at the dawn of civilization could leave a legacy that defies time. Get ready for a journey into the heart of history, where the mystery of the king of the Great Pyramid begins. Pharaoh Khufu was born in the second half of the 27th century BC, most likely the son of the great Pharaoh Sneferu, one of the most powerful kings of the Old Kingdom and the founder of the monumental pyramid project that reached its zenith during his son's reign. Khufu grew up within a polygamous royal family, in a hereditary system where the throne passed to the eldest son, making him the natural heir to the throne at the end of Sneferu's reign around 2590 BC. Khufu ruled Egypt during the Old Kingdom, specifically the Fourth Dynasty, a period of unprecedented political, administrative and cultural flourishing. This era was characterized by a strong centralized state, a well-organized army and a bureaucracy capable of managing massive projects. Although Khufu is one of the most famous pharaohs of Egypt, our knowledge of his personal life is extremely limited due to the scarcity of written texts from that period. Khufu's true legacy is embodied in the Great Pyramid of Giza, the greatest architectural monument of the ancient world, and one of the only 7 wonders of the ancient world still standing today. The pyramid was not merely a royal tomb, but a symbolic declaration of the pharaoh's divine authority, who was considered a living god on earth. Through this colossal structure, along with archaeological inscriptions, king lists, and the writings of ancient historians, we can reconstruct the image of a ruler who embodied the pinnacle of power and organization in ancient Egypt, even if the man himself remains an enigma behind the timeless stones of his pyramid. Pharaoh Khufu ruled Egypt at the height of the Old Kingdom's power, a time of stability, wealth, and advanced administrative organization. He was known by several names throughout history, most notably Khufu and Khnum Khufu, meaning protected by the god Khnum, a clear reference to his divine legitimacy as a pharaoh viewed as a living god on earth. He is believed to have ascended the throne around 2590 BCE and ruled for approximately 25 to 30 years, a period marked by economic prosperity and territorial expansion. During his reign, Egyptian influence expanded beyond the Nile Valley, particularly in the Sinai Peninsula, rich in copper, gold, and turquoise. Mining expeditions were sent, documented by inscriptions bearing Khufu's name. Egypt also witnessed growing trade with the Levant and the Red Sea coast, exemplified by the port of Wadi al-Jarf, the oldest known man-made port in history, reflecting the development of navigation and trade during his era. In terms of family, Khufu was polygamous, with his first wife being Queen Meritatis I, for whom a small pyramid was built near his Great Pyramid. He fathered numerous children, most notably Khafra, who later succeeded him to the throne, while his eldest son, Kawab, died before inheriting the throne. Archaeological evidence from the tombs of his sons and daughters at Giza provides us with crucial information about his family life. Despite the grandeur of his architectural achievements, most notably the Great Pyramid of Giza, the only surviving wonder of the ancient world, our understanding of Khufu's own personality remains limited. Some later texts, such as the Westcar Papyrus, portray him as a cruel or enigmatic king, while other scholars see him as a curious ruler interested in religion, magic, and knowledge. Thus, Khufu stands in history as a figure of both grandeur and mystery, a pharaoh whose name is immortalized in stone, while the true nature of his humanity remains shrouded in legend. The small statue of Khafra, the ivory statue of Khufu, is one of the rarest artifacts that sheds light on the character of Pharaoh Khufu, despite the debate surrounding his true date. Discovered in 1903 by Flinders Petrie, it depicts Khufu seated on his throne, wearing the crown of Lower Egypt and inscribed with his royal name, Khnum Khufu. Aside from this rare artifact, our knowledge of Khufu relies on writings from much later periods, most notably the works of Manetho, Herodotus, and Diodorus Siculus, all of which portray him as a powerful, even cruel, ruler. Ancient sources agree that Khufu's greatest achievement was the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, a project that cemented his historical reputation, both as a great pharaoh and as a tyrant. Despite the exaggerations and chronological inaccuracies in Greek accounts, they reflect the historical impact of this colossal project on ancient Egyptian society. Khufu benefited from the extensive pyramid-building experience of his father, Sneferu, who had constructed several pyramids that technically paved the way for the intricate engineering of the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid represented the pinnacle of ancient Egyptian architecture, standing over 146 meters tall and constructed using millions of stone blocks transported from distant locations, an unprecedented feat of engineering. The question of how and by whom it was built remains a subject of debate, but modern archaeological evidence weakens the notion that it was built by slaves, suggesting instead a sophisticated organization of a skilled workforce. Thus, Khufu remains an enigmatic historical figure, where fact and myth intertwine, and his pyramid stands as an enduring testament to the grandeur of ancient Egypt and the complexity of its history. Recent archaeological discoveries reveal that the builders of the Great Pyramid were not slaves, but rather paid laborers who lived relatively well, as evidenced by the workers' village discovered near Giza in the late 20th century. Their diet was rich in protein compared to other workers in ancient Egypt. While ancient historians like Herodotus and Diodorus Siculus offered varying estimates of the number of workers, modern studies suggest that tens of thousands participated in the project, a logical number for a construction of this scale. Recent scientific experiments have reused ancient tools and demonstrated that extracting and transporting the stone blocks was feasible within a reasonable time frame, especially given the existence of an ancient branch of the Nile that flowed directly to the Giza Plateau, facilitating the transport of stones by boat. The Diary of Merer, the oldest known papyrus, also provides direct evidence of the organization of the work, the transport of the stones, and the costs of providing for the workers. Although debate continues regarding how the massive stone blocks were lifted, it is certain that the project was a colossal engineering and logistical undertaking involving a large segment of Egyptian society. This monumental effort was only possible because the Egyptians of the Old Kingdom viewed the pharaoh, like Khufu, as a semi-divine being, making the pyramid's construction a religious and political expression of the king's power and sanity. Inside the pyramid lies a complex network of passages and chambers, most notably the King's Chamber with its massive granite ceiling, and the starlight passages, likely designed for religious and astronomical purposes related to the belief in immortality. The pyramid was originally encased in polished white limestone that shimmered in the sun, before its outer casing crumbled and was reused over the centuries. Ultimately, the Great Pyramid remains an extraordinary human achievement, embodying the ancient Egyptian civilization's ability to mobilize resources, organize work, and transform their belief in the divine king into an enduring monument that continues to inspire awe more than 4,500 years later. Over the centuries, the Great Pyramid has been subject to looting and illegal entry into the king's chamber, resulting in the loss of Khufu's burial treasures and mummy. After his death, it is likely that his son Djedefre succeeded him briefly or shared the throne with him, before the throne passed to Khafre, who built the second pyramid at Giza and is credited with constructing the Sphinx. Menkaure then completed the pyramid triad by building the third pyramid, transforming the Giza plateau into a colossal royal complex encompassing the pyramids of kings and queens, as well as mastabas for high-ranking officials. The Fourth Dynasty represented the zenith of the Old Kingdom, before Egypt subsequently entered a period of instability. The Great Pyramid has captivated historians and travellers since antiquity. The Greeks considered it one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, and it was the only wonder to have survived the ages thanks to Egypt's cultural continuity. This changed with the Middle Ages, when passages were forcibly opened during the reign of Al-Ma'mun, and some pyramids were subjected to failed attempts at destruction, followed by natural damage, such as the earthquake of 1303. In modern times, Egyptology and restoration work flourished, but the pyramids remain vulnerable to disaster. Despite thousands of years of study, the Great Pyramid has yet to reveal all its secrets. Its internal passages and chambers continue to be explored using modern technologies such as robotics and thermal imaging, which have recently uncovered new passageways. Khufu remains an enigmatic figure. We know for certain that he ruled in the 26th century BC and built the greatest stone monument in history, but the details of his life and policies, caught between tyranny and legend, remain a subject of debate. Perhaps this mystery is as fitting as the mysteries of his pyramid, which still stands proudly on the banks of the Nile, a testament to the dawn of human civilization. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.